Hello, my name is Ryan van der Korwijk. In this 10-minute iTOO expert film, I will discuss iTOO's commercial cyber cover. What is commercial cyber insurance? Designed to cover the resultant costs and damages from a privacy or a network security breach, the cyber insurance policy covers what has previously been uninsurable, providing comprehensive first and third-party coverage with an expert incident response process. What does iTOO's commercial cyber policy cover? Far broader than the name cyber implies, our policy extends to cover numerous incidents, including, but not limited to, cyber extortion and malware, including viruses and ransomware, denial of service attacks, which would be a disruption to your operations, downstream attacks, where a compromise of your environment results in damages to others, hacking as you'd expect, and then where the policy gets a little bit broader than you would typically think from the name cyber, threats posed by third-party access into your environment, insider and privilege misuse, where you may have individuals who have authorized access to systems and data and use that in an unauthorized manner. Physical theft and loss is also covered. This would be both for devices and even extend as far as physical hard copy data. From my personal perspective, I find it easiest to consider the cover as comprising three core pillars: the incident response pillar, financial impact pillar, and the liability pillar. Under the incident response pillar, which is serviced by our 24/7 emergency response hotline, insureds are provided with the following: access to expert IT response teams to help investigate, contain, and recover operations, legal guidance to ensure that all the regulatory requirements, like those imposed by POPI, are met, crisis management and consulting implementation costs to limit potential reputational damage, notification costs to communicate with affected parties and to provide remediation services such as credit monitoring to try and prevent those affected parties from suffering any further damages. Cyber extortion cover is a key element of a cyber insurance policy and really topical at the moment. For this element of cover, the policy will look to confirm the validity of an extortion demand, then check to see if there's a way we can recover without paying the ransom. If it is agreed that we cannot recover and the best course of action will be to pay the ransom, the policy then also extends to negotiate and settle the ransom demand. Under the second pillar, the financial impact pillar, you have cover for your business interruption losses, which would be covering your loss of revenue as a result of the disruption to your operation, increased cost of working and getting your operations back up and running, fines and penalties to the extent insurable by law. Under the liability pillar, you have the defense and settlement of ensuing litigation as a result of data compromised from the environment, or where your environment has been compromised and this has been used to launch attacks against and cause damage to others. There is also digital media liability, which would cover the unintentional defamation, copyright infringement, or infringement to rights of privacy. As the risk landscape has evolved, we have added optional additional cover extensions to our policy. In order of those most commonly purchased, these are initial response phase cover. This functions like a deductible waiver, pushing out the point at which the deductible becomes applicable by a certain time period. The policy is triggered and responds exactly the same. The only difference is when that deductible becomes applicable. Outsourced service provider or OSP cover. This provides cover for exposure to named outsourced service providers, including business interruption losses resulting from a system security incident at an outsourced service provider, and costs to change to an alternative outsourced service provider if required. Next up, e-financial loss. This covers the unrecoverable loss of money belonging to you or for which you are legally responsible as a result of a system security incident by a third party. Cryptocurrency losses are excluded under e-financial loss cover. Physical damage. Costs to repair or replace direct physical damage of tangible property as a result of a system security incident by a third party. Phone phreaking, not just there because it's a fun word to say. Call and or bandwidth usage costs you are legally obligated to pay as a result of unauthorized use of your telecommunications system by a third party. Then we've got payment card industry fines and penalties. This provides cover for direct monetary fines, penalties, assessments, chargebacks and reimbursements, as well as fraud recoveries you are legally obligated to pay in terms of a merchant services agreement as a direct result of a network security breach. Why is cyber a big risk right now? Cyber breaches are no longer a matter of if, but when. The reality is that cybercrime is on the rise, and South Africa is not immune. Studies show that ransomware attacks increased by 93% in 2021, coupled with a 144% increase in ransoms being demanded and 78% increase in the average ransom amount being paid. Our claims experience shows even larger increases in demands and payments for ransomware attacks. Companies of all sizes and in all industries are exposed. Studies show that 63% of SMEs experienced a data breach in the last 12-month period. Passwords, in particular simple passwords, pose a major risk, regularly featuring as a cause of an incident. The average cost for a stolen or lost record in South Africa is almost R2,500. Detection of an incident can take up to 6 months, leaving hackers with more than enough time to understand your environment and steal large volumes of data. With your reputation on the line, how you respond is critical. With iTOO's cyber insurance policy, you are assured of access to highly acclaimed, expert resources, including experienced cyber mitigation and incident response specialists who have a local presence with proven capabilities. So let's talk about a claim example. Hackers, in this instance, gain unauthorized access to a client environment and steal information from the environment before encrypting it and then demanding a ransom. Firstly, not to publish the stolen information, and secondly, for the keys to decrypt the data. From an insurer's perspective, this is currently the most common claim example we're seeing. How would the policy respond? First off, the policy is going to give you the costs to obtain professional, legal, public relations, and IT forensics advice and assistance, including assistance in arranging the incident, coordinating response activities, and making representations to the relevant regulatory bodies. Costs to perform incident triage and forensic investigations, including IT experts to confirm and determine the cause of the incident, extent of the damage, including nature and volume of data compromised, how to contain, mitigate, and repair that damage, and guidance on measures that can be implemented to try and prevent future reoccurrence. Where required, costs to engage with and negotiate with the extortionists and settle ransom demands. For crisis communications and public relations, costs to manage a reputational crisis, including spokesperson training and social media monitoring. For communications, to notify the affected parties. For remediation services, such as credit monitoring, to protect those affected parties from suffering further damages. Then to cover your additional financial impact, you'd have the loss of income and increased cost of working because of the system security incident, costs to restore, recollect, or replace data which was lost, stolen, or corrupted due to the incident, and to the extent insurable by law, fines imposed by government regulatory bodies such as the POPI regulator due to the information privacy breach. Should it then arise, you would also have the cover for the defense and settlement of ensuing litigation arising from the data that was compromised, or if your environment were then used to launch attacks against and cause damage to other third parties' system and data. How is iTOO's commercial cyber cover different to other cyber insurance products currently on the market? We have local underwriting and decision-making expertise. Our solutions are tailored for the local market. We provide the ability to purchase optional extensions such as physical damage cover, and we have a local, proven incident response capability. How does one go about taking up commercial cyber cover? All of iTOO's business is facilitated through a phase-accredited broker, so please ask your broker to contact us if you'd like to get a quote for your cyber liability cover. What is required when applying for cover? Proposal forms. We have two main offerings in the market, our iTOO Go product, which is for companies with a revenue below 250 million rand, and our full, more extensive proposal form for companies that don't meet the qualifying criteria of the iTOO Go product and have a larger revenue. What are a few things that people should remember about iTOO's commercial cyber cover? Cybercrime is on the rise, and South Africa is not immune. Hacking is indiscriminate. We are all exposed as we all operate on one global connected network, the internet. No security is infallible. Disgruntled staff and accidents can trigger an incident. You cannot abdicate your responsibility to safeguard data with a third party. POPI and GDPR are in force. Damages can be significant and directors are exposed. Effective incident response is key. Why should a person choose iTOO? Expert by your side, openness in our underwriting approach, and solution-oriented. We provide our clients the freedom and security to realize their goals by sharing in their financial risk in times of major uncertainty. For more of our 10-minute iTOO expert films, where we discuss iTOO products and services, please explore itoo.co.za. Thank you.